What are days for? Days are where we live. They come and wake us time and time over. They are happy to be in. Where can we live but days?
My father was actually born in sight of the town ball. His family have also lived there for generations. In the old days, the high street at the far end was the 2 up and 2 down terrace houses. And my grandparents lived in a 2 up and 2 down terrace. And 2 families lived in those 2-bedroom houses. One family would have the upstairs and one family would have the downstairs. So they lived near all this opulence. My dad grew up and he used to say to me regularly as we walked past the town, I didn't know what it was, that ball on top. I started campaigning to get it fixed before I actually knew what it was. It was a maritime clock that didn't work. I'd be about 15 when I first started campaigning. Going past regularly and pointing up and saying, that blinking maritime clock never works, it never works. And he was an engineer. So it used to annoy him that there was a piece of engineering in the city that didn't work. And it hadn't worked since he was a baby, and he was born in 1919. His brother was a master mason, and the standing joke was, once I'd had a few strong orange juices, they would tell the story of they was going to climb up there one day and fix it. So it was always, oh, my dad's going to fix that. And as kids, you believe these stories. But unfortunately, my dad died. So I used to start asking, who's going to fix that maritime clock? I didn't know who was responsible for it, but it belonged to the city council. So I would ask anybody.
I'm the clock custodian, and I look after all the clocks in the building. Now, how this Greenwich time ball and what it was used for, time was literally all over the place. It was all over the place, depending on what the church clock said. What was established by the British Parliament was to have a uniform time. So what they did was they introduced, and it was a wonderful idea, and this was in the 1870s, they introduced what we call radio telegraphy. Can you remember the telegraph poles alongside the railway lines? Yeah, there was millions of them, and they were everywhere. That was called the permanent way, was the railway, was called the permanent way. From these poles, there was a telegraph wire going through the country, and it went to the principal post offices in the cities, every city, and it was linked in to Greenwich, where there was a booster in there, and literally with the mercury clocks which they had, they could damn near get exact time. Now, when it came up to 12 noon, they used to literally, it was a beam, IFC, used to press the button, boom, and then all the clocks used, if they were slow, would go click, 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 to 12 noon, or if they were slow, they would stop until the time caught up. So then we've got uniformity of time. What happened in Hull, the city of Kingston upon Hull, a maritime city? How the hell are they going to set chronometers in the river? Well, they can't, and that's it. So, the thing they did here, they introduced the Greenwich Time Ball above the new Guildhall. The town hall was put open in 1866. It was only 50 years older. They pulled it down. And they built this new one. And this new one is the largest Guildhall in Britain. The Greenwich Time Ball. It was mounted at the top of the bell tower, which is, I believe, well, I know it's 168 foot. Now, just before 12 noon, the the time ball was raised electronically from a pulsinetic time transmitter, and it transmitted these bleeps to the clocks in the Guildhall. Just before 12 noon, the two DC motors in the tower raised this time ball up, and then it was held by two solenoids. These were magnetic brakes, and they held it until the time signal come through. From the Guildhall to the post office, there was a catenary wire, big supporting wire. And this supporting wire, it held the cable that had the time signal on it. And this wire passed over Alfred Gell's Street, which carried the time line, and then found its little way up to the time ball mechanism. When they released the time in Greenwich, all the clocks, in principal post offices, principal railway stations, and whole Greenwich time ball, they were released. Then the time ball descended. Now, I come from originally a seafaring family, and in the Humber, in the River Hull, in the dock, so the ships in the aforementioned places, they could all look up at the time ball. The officer of the watch would be there with the radio operator, who had in his hands the chronometer, the ship's chronometer. And as soon as the ball fell, the officer of the watch, he would say, time! And then he would reset the chronometer. When the time ball fell, that denoted correct time. Now, they couldn't rely on the hour bell in the Guildhall, which is some 2.5 tons. But you have to bear in mind, these were sailing schooners. The clatter of the halyards. Now, you won't be able to hear the bell striking the hour, and it wouldn't be as accurate because the speed of sound is very, 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 very much slower than what the speed of vision is. And the speed of vision is if you turn your head and look to whatever you put your eyes on. That vision has travelled to your retina at 282.42 thousand miles a second. But bear in mind how clever they were years ago.
When it was first commissioned, nobody had watches and things. By the time they finished arguing and putting in commission who was going to pay for it, everybody had watches. That's why it was never, let's fix it, If they hadn't all suddenly got watches, it was modern technology, then we'd have had it fixed quicker.
Well, we're a city of culture, and so the Guildhall is part of that, our culture.
It's part of our history.
I think it's absolutely beautiful building. I think it's like shows how beautiful the past, of Hull is.
They started looking into becoming City of Culture. And I managed to get a hold of a lady called Councillor Helena Spencer. I start telling the story of the Greenwich Town Ball that's on top of the Guildhall, and it doesn't work. Can we have it fixed? Now we're going to be City of Culture, but that's our culture. It belongs to us. Rather than buying culture, can't we just fix what we've got? A few months later, there was a 2-page spread in the Hull Daily Mail. The head of the council was going to fix the town ball. And since then, things have rolled and commissions have been made, and I've stood outside and seen the ball go up, and I have managed to stroke the wind charm that's on top of it all. so that when I go past I can say to my grandchildren, do you see that up there? I've struck that. I hadn't realised how high it was when you've got to climb and climb and climb. And I climbed and I climbed, went up to the top, up to where the step ladder is to go. I was very mightily impressed. But what I was more impressed is I'd got to do it because the following day I was diagnosed with cancer. I didn't think I would be here ever to see this. I've still got cancer, I'm still having treatment. But to know that my legacy is, I've got it done. It's done, you know, it's going to be finished. My kids and my grandkids are going to know that Nana kicked enough doors, we got it done.
I am from the teapot, from Hinds Beans and Hulvest.
I am from the land of green ginger, make-believe, bewitching, dark where the sun doesn't shine.
I'm from Sea Aster, purple stars growing in the margins, summer's farewell. I'm from Hull Fair, patty and chips, and photos, fishing and rugby.
From David and Mary. I am from Close Knit and a Bent Locking in Temples.
From wear clean underwear in case you'll get run over, and as old as my tongue and a bit older than my teeth. I'm from multi-faiths, from getting along together, from the confessional to the touchline.
I'm from wool bales and monks, chip spice, needlers and penners. From Lillian Balocca, triple trawler tragedy, headscarf revolutionary, Amy Johnson and William Wilberforce.
I am from the treasured tapestries of the Guildhall, Bankside and the Ferrens, telling the story of Hull.
I wanted to drop on New Year's Eve and for us all to go out and do Auld Lang Syne. It's a memory of my dad. He would laugh his socks off. He would think it very funny. But I've come from a big family of siblings. Both my parents died when I was young. I'm the second oldest, so at 16 when my dad died, my mum had died 4 years beforehand. So I've got younger brothers and sisters who've known this story all this time. It's for them as well. So they will be so happy that we've got something, a legacy of remembrance. Just to go past everything. My dad told us that story.
What are days for? Days are where we live. They come and wake us, time and time over. They are happy to be in. Where can we live?